gotta love when you have a little bit of technical difficulty. But here we are. We're so excited to be with you guys. So as you come on in, definitely tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you tutor. And today is a very exciting day because we are going to be talking about vacation. Wait, what? Vacation? No,
What?
we're not talking about vacation. Wait, well, I'm going on vacation.
You're going on vacation.
I am going on vacation. Yes. And, just like when I work with my students and I take a vacation, I almost kind of feel like um, they're missing out on like the tutoring that I give them when I go on vacation. And it can be so like frustrating to think like, oh my gosh, if I take a vacation, they're not getting their reading time in and all of that kind of stuff, right? And so I decided this year, I said, well, I'm going to be going on vacation, and um, but that means I can't serve my tutors when I'm doing that. And so, in order to serve tutors, I thought, well, why don't I have a special vacation deal for them so that when they are not going to be able to see me in person, but they could watch me on video doing some of the courses that I have done. So that is exactly what we are doing today. But I was like, a lot of people aren't going to know anything about these courses. And so I might as well take some time to really talk about and explain what the courses are and give them more information about them. And I'm not going to be able to answer questions next week because I'm going to be on vacation. So this gives me an opportunity to be able to answer questions that people might have, like what's included, what do you do, or how do I sign up, or any of those kinds of questions, and you'll be able to ask me directly if you have any questions. So I put a little display on up here of our specific deal that we have. Let me see if I can get the thing to come on up in front. Oh no, now that won't come on up.
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties, aren't we, this morning?
But if I do this, will it show up on top of that? If I move
Sorry.
this. Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
Woo woo. So you got to see this. This is so cool. So it's called the 7 Days of Deals. And what you get the opportunity to do is purchase any of these programs on that day at 50% off. So,
That's so
as you
exciting.
can see right here, this is the very first one. And I'm look at that. It's like a real green screen, right? Because I'm like pointing to it. You can't see it.
Whoa. I see it on YouTube. That's awesome.
So number one is the 21-day time management challenge. Now, who doesn't struggle with like in the beginning with their time management, right? I know we were just
I'm
talking
raising my
about this.
hand.
We were
Yeah, we
just
were
talking about
just
this.
talking on Tuesday.
I
Yep.
know. And I was like, wait, did you go through the 7 day time management, the 21-day time management challenge? She's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, all right, you got to check that out because you're going to learn some really cool ways to be able to get more time into your day. Like,
Hmm.
wouldn't it be cool to be able to get more time in your day? Who wouldn't like if somebody were if you were to like ask a genie in a bottle like one thing, can I get more time in my day, right? Because we're all so busy.
Yeah.
This program is going to grant you that wish.
That's incredible. I need that. I mean, that's I we all I feel like say if only there were more hours in the day, if only it was a 25-hour day instead of 24, like what would you do with that extra hour?
Right.
If only I could sleep less, that kind of thing. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
but this is a way of, instead of, because that's obviously impossible, this is a way of putting that time, using your time effectively, learning how to use your time effectively so that it feels like, oh, I have all this extra time now. So it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Now I have found that the one thing that people who want more time, the last thing that they want is a program that's going to take a ton of time.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Like you're like, I don't want a program that's going to like I have to like invest all of this time into in order to be able to get some quick strategies. So what I did, and as I set it up as like a 21-day challenge so that you get the opportunity to get an email every single day that gives you a new time management strategy that you'll be able to put into practice.
That's really exciting. And what you were telling me on Tuesday is that these are like quick things that you can implement right away. It's like quick wins kind of thing. So
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
really helpful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's
the
awesome.
course is typically $47, but on Saturday, I'm going to put that back on up here so you guys can see. On Saturday, so that is starting this Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
the 21-day
July
time
4th.
management. Yep, July 4th. That's going to be the very first program offered, and it's going to be at 50% off. So 50% off $47, which is, I can't really do the math very quickly in my head, but it's
23 and a half. We need our
23 and a
math
half. Yeah,
tutor.
you did good. Well done. I like my calculator, but I mean, you just like, boom. So yeah, so that'll only be $23.50 for that program. So that is the very first one that we're offering. Now you're gonna notice that the next day that it says Sunday, right? And it says Goal-Setting Bootcamp. Well, here's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So you can't get the 50% off whenever you want it on any day. You can only get the 50% off on that day. And there is a link that you'll be able to click on that has a coupon code that automatically shows you the exact percentage you're getting off so that you know you're getting the right deal. But the coupon
Very cool.
expires.
Oh boy.
It
So you better
expires
get
at
it.
midnight. So it expires at midnight
Yeah.
on Sunday. So you can't try to use that coupon code the next day. If you go
Right.
to that site, it's going to go back to the regular price. So
Right. And this is for people in our different time zones. It's midnight CST, Central Time.
correct. So
So,
important to know because this is the
yes.
central time zone. So if you're like, oh, but I'm over in Australia, that is going to make a huge difference for you because my midnight and your midnight are completely different days, literally different days.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
So this is something to take into consideration, but you will get like a warning like, hey, 6 hours left inside of your email
Mhm.
inbox so that you'll know. And we have Maria in the house. Woo woo. Maria said
Hey,
that
Maria.
you are a mathematician.
I'm really not, but I can do multiplication and division in my head. But
That's good.
anything beyond that, I need to ask my math tutor friends to help with it. I yeah, not a math person, but
I love it.
yeah.
I love it. So, like I mentioned, you guys, day 2, which is Sunday,
Hmm.
July 5th,
Oh,
we
sorry.
have the Goal-Setting Bootcamp. All right.
So awesome.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I noticed is that it all starts with a good goal,
Yeah.
right? Like, if you don't have a goal when it comes to your business, you can't reach that goal. There was actually a Harvard study that was done that showed that people who had listed their goals out and they had actually written them down on paper, they were more likely to reach their goals than anybody else.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It's like we say in well, it's like you said in the Jumpstart program, and I think this comes from the compound effect. But other people have said it other places. I'm sure. What you track, you achieve. What you don't track, you don't achieve.
It's very
So
similar to that, right? And it all
right,
starts with being able to set those goals, right? And so I do think
right.
this is a great question. Maria said, "Are these all new classes?" These are not all new classes. Some of the
Mm-hmm.
classes have been offered through people who are part of the Insider Secrets Club, but have never been offered to anybody else before. Some of
Yeah.
these classes have never been offered to the Insider Secrets Club members, and you have an opportunity to get them now. So, like the first one, the 21-day time management one, was never offered before to the as free for the Insider Secrets Club members. So that is definitely something to take into consideration as you guys are thinking about, is this going to be a right fit for me or not a right fit for me? So
Right.
great question.
For
Thank you
sure.
for asking that question. I appreciate that. And this is great
And
too because you know what? People are going to ask this question next week, Elizabeth. They're going to message you and you're going
uh-huh.
to be like, I know the answer to that now.
That's true. I can go back to this recording and find out. Um, yeah, something else I wanted to mentioned about the goal setting one, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I found that I went through. I'm not sure if it was that exact boot camp or an iteration of that, a version of it, not too long ago, but
Yeah.
um, it was like when you set a goal for your business, like we talk about those SMART goals, you know, specific, measurable, you know, all of those things, but setting goals makes like it gives me so much clarity in my business. It makes me realize like, okay, this is exactly what I want to do next and what I want to achieve. And so it, I mean, it's one of the most important things I think that you can start with, to be
Yeah.
honest.
It
So
absolutely is. And that which you don't even set a goal for, you can't even reach, right?
right, right. You can't even track it. Like I said before, like you can't track it if you're not, if you don't have it as a goal, and then you definitely can't achieve it. So for
Yeah, so
sure.
this specific course does come with a planner. So this is something
Right.
that Elizabeth had just went through like a few months ago. We did it in the
Yeah.
Insider Secrets Club, and there was a planner attached, and then we walked through with other tutors each of these different aspects of planning, all the way up into
Hmm.
like, do I want to be generous with my money, and how can I be generous with my money? If I reach these goals, is that a part? Is generosity a part of a goal for me? If it is, how am I being generous and how can I be generous?
Right, absolutely. And I think sometimes when we're at the beginning stages of our business, that's often not even on our radar, but when but it's such an important thing because it needs to be on our radar because sorry, my words aren't coming to me, but it's so important to be thankful for the gifts that you've received and for the success that you've achieved, and then pour that back out. So at,
Well,
at any
yeah.
level, at
Yeah,
any level.
and I believe
So
that the more that you give, the more that you get,
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
right?
And
So
I think that's just important to realize, not just when you've hit, you know, fully booked, but even at the beginning levels. So
for
I
sure,
don't know.
for sure. Yeah, no, I totally agree, because a lot of us don't think about. I was reading this one book one time. All it was all about success strategies, right? And I was
Mhm.
reading it, and it was talking about how if I'm not generous now, then how
Mm,
do I expect to be generous later when I'm given a lot? If I can't be generous with the
right.
little amount that I'm given now, how can I be generous when the universe decides to give me a lot later? It's not going to
Oh.
happen, because generosity is actually a muscle. We have to
Hmm.
practice it and use it, and we have to make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So,
Yeah.
and it doesn't get easier to give more when you make more. Like
No.
when I take a look at some of like the numbers that I am giving away, sometimes it's like, holy cow, like I could be taking that money and I could be putting it here. I could be taking that money. I could be taking that. Like we all of a sudden start thinking about like the things that we want to like reach us towards some of our goals that we have. And
Hmm.
the giving then doesn't become as generous. And so it's definitely a muscle that needs to be flexed. And you can't wait until you have a ton of money before you start being generous, because it starts with little increments, right? Like lifting weights. I don't
Yeah.
start with the 35-pound weights when I'm trying to build up my muscles,
I
right?
wish.
I start with like the 2-pound weights or the 3-pound weights, and then I move up to 5-pound weights, right? I increase as time goes on, and that's what happens. So these goals aren't just about like one aspect of your life, but many aspects of your life.
Oh, absolutely. And I find that when you are goal setting in one aspect of your life, like your business, it like do you find that it overflows into other areas? Because I kind of do. Like if you're trying to be diligent in one area, you kind of tend to be diligent in other areas as well. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Like I've had to like really like my parenting has changed over time.
Hmm.
And where am I and what do I do and when do I do it has changed over time. But the more the more clear I get with my business, the more clear I get with, okay, so where am I going to spend my family time? How am I going to spend my family time? What are we going to do when we have family time, right? Versus it just be
Yeah.
like all over the place and not really be planned, right? And
Right.
then I feel like a terrible mom at the end of the day because I've spent so much time working. So yeah, it helps me to get really clear and planned in all aspects of my life, as a wife, as a mom, as a friend, as
Mhm.
a churchgoer, as a, all those different aspects of my life. When I get clear in one area, I automatically helps me become clear in other areas as well.
Absolutely.
So glad you guys that you are here. We've got Elizabeth, woo woo, Comparoro, and
Hey,
Anna.
Elizabeth. Hey,
So glad that
Anna.
you are here, and Maria. And if you are in the house, please tell us who you are and where you are from. And we would love to say hello to you as well. And feel free at any point in time, if you have any questions about what we're talking about, feel free to add them into the chat and we will do the best that we can to be able to answer your question for you. And so we're talking about today the 7 days of deals. And each day you are going to get a different program offered at 50% off. So we've talked about so far our 21-day time management one. And then we've talked about our goal setting boot camp. And now we're going to move on into how to get your first 100 email subscribers. Now,
Yeah.
recently I've had kind of two groups of people kind of go through this process. We talked about it inside of the Jumpstart group, and we've
Mhm.
also talked about it inside of the Insider Secrets Club. Actually, the Insider Secrets Club just finished today going through that program.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what were your thoughts as you were just going through the how to get your first 100 email subscribers? What were some of the things that were going through your mind?
Oh my goodness. So it was really, really interesting. There were some strategies I had never really thought of before. I really liked the section about how to optimize your website
Mm-hmm.
for getting email subscribers, because you do your website, you kind of think it's all right, but you kind of, well, at least I kind of had my hands off of it for a while. But then I realized that there was so much more I could be doing on my website to improve my email subscribers. Oh, like my increase my email list. There we go. And that was super helpful for me, for example. So just even that week was awesome. Um,
Great question, Elizabeth
oh
Comparero.
yeah.
She just asked, "Is every course 23.50?" So that's a great question. Most of the courses are regularly $97. It's just the first one on opening day that is going to be that. That's $47. That's going to be listed at the 23.50. The others are going to be, what is that, 48.50 something, $48 something.
Yeah.
Um, that you're gonna 48.50. Did
Something.
I get it right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So those are going to be offered at that, and they come with a planning guide that guides you through step by step, and they
Hmm.
come with the videos. Some comes with checklists and templates and all these kinds of things to make sure that you're on the right start. You have the right thoughts. Like a lot of us, we think about, okay, let's create an email list. Joanne says I need to create an email list. All right, fine, I'll do it. But then we create a freebie, and we don't let anybody know about the freebie. And so this
Yeah,
this
that
particular
was me
course,
actually.
this particular course gives you all of the ideas on what can I do to
Hmm.
let people know about my freebie and get more people on my list.
I really liked, yeah, that was awesome. I love the I was just reminded about the lesson number 3 about using free webinars to increase your email list, and that was one of the ways that you suggested to really increase the email list. And I'm just starting to learn about how to do that, and that was really helpful to kind of solidify some of those ideas in my head
Mm-hmm.
of how to do that. So that was really amazing. And just to kind of walk through step by step of what that process looks like.
Mm-hmm. And Anna, great question. She asked, could you please let us know if the email subscribers is something that we'll cover in Jumpstart? I do include inside of Jumpstart the planner, but I don't have the
Mhm.
videos that guide you step by step. So it includes like a little piece of it, but it doesn't include the whole piece of it. So I didn't include all of the videos because I didn't want to overwhelm people in Jumpstart, but I at least
Yeah.
wanted to give them the resources in case they were ready to take that leap and put that into place. So I wanted to give them the ability to be able to do that. So hopefully that definitely helps. Um, and today I decided, I don't know, I like to be generous, right? So I decided, why wait until Friday? Why wait until Saturday to get the show rolling? Since we're talking about it today, why don't I start throwing on in the deal that allows them to get all of the programs for just 197? Now, most of these
Such an
programs, I think
incredible
six of the
deal.
programs are $97 each, regularly priced.
Hmm.
So it's a $605 value for just $197.
Wow.
So
That's
anybody who
so
wants to
awesome.
get all of them, Elizabeth is going to throw in a link and you'll be
Yes,
able
I am.
to get that.
1 second.
Yeah, no problem. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on
All
up as well here for people our next deal, which because it goes right with the one right before it. So we talked about how to get your first 100 email subscribers, and then the next one is persuasive emails that get people hiring you. Now, one of the biggest problems that people have when it comes to their email list is they don't know what to write to them. Like, well, what do I
Yep.
write in an email, right? Like, so this actually guides you through what exactly to write inside of your email so that your people are not kind of left there and thinking, okay, so I got this download. Now what, right? Like, we want it to really lead to that next clear action, which is to get started with you, right? And so the more clear you can be, I've set it up so that it is kind of like a getting to know you sequence, but also taking into consideration all the reasons maybe why a client might say no to your online tutoring
Oh,
services.
that's really cool. Kind of
Yeah,
like knocking down their objections before they even say them to you.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
So you get that first. What I do is I walk you through some really great copywriting techniques. What do people connect with, so that you can really understand what people connect with, and then you can go on into the process and begin writing it. So when I give a template, it's not a template like, here, copy this and just put this into your email sequence. It's include this information that specifically shares about you, and here's how you do
Mhm.
it. Because a lot, we don't want like cookie cutter things, right? We don't want like a cookie cutter email that every tutor is sending on out. It wouldn't match your ideal client, and it wouldn't match your goals. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to teach you what you could write, so you could write it in your own words and it would reflect who you are and what it is that you do. So I had the
Oh,
question, are
sorry.
there times for the
Yeah.
courses yet? So the courses, they are all, this is the cool thing. So I'm going to be on vacation, right? I can't teach the courses next week. These are all already done. So
Mhm.
you get to watch the courses, and you'll be able to learn next week, while even while I'm on vacation. You'll be able to watch them on so that you get access to them immediately. So anything that you purchase, you'll be able to automatically start utilizing inside of your online tutoring business. You won't have to wait until we have a live course or anything like that. Oh, we got
Yeah.
Ashley in the house. Woot woot. Hey Ashley, glad you're here.
I love that people can start taking action on these things right away and start using them because it's so important to get some of these things, kind of nailed down in your business, and this is one way that you can start taking action on it right away. So,
It absolutely is. And here's the thing, you guys, we're starting to hear about schools that are not opening in the fall.
Yeah,
Kids
so many.
are going to be going to online schooling. Some of those hot states already. I mean, like Arizona, they start the first week of August. They've had to start making what are they going to do those first few weeks? Are they going to be in school or are they going to be at home? And right now, I was just talking to somebody from Arizona earlier, and she was saying that the kids are going to be at home. The kids are going to be doing
Wow.
homeschooling.
Wow. And I know a lot of parents who were already kind of not happy with how it went last semester. Hopefully, people kind of settle into it for this semester, but they're still going to need a lot of help. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so if
Yeah,
we can be that resource for them, then that's
yeah,
great.
and there's gonna be I know that there are gonna be more students that are going to be needing tutoring services because of it, right? They're going to need
Oh,
more
yeah.
one-on-one help because they're not getting it inside of the classroom, right? If they're online and the
Yeah.
teacher doesn't know how to help each of their students in an online format, they're going to struggle, which means that their kids are going to get behind. We already have a COVID slide. The COVID slide is going to continue into
Mm.
the fall with this situation. So it definitely is going to um, be really helpful. And you have access. Yeah, these courses. Once you purchase them, you have lifetime access to them. They don't disappear. So let's say you're
Mhm.
like, I don't have time right now to be able to take this course. Well, you buy the course now at the 50% off. And then when you do have time, let's say next month or in September, whatever your month that isn't as crazy is, you have that course already unlocked for you. You just go on in, boom, and you can access the material.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite features of all of your courses is that you have the lifetime access. I
Mm-hmm.
That's so unique and so helpful for people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And okay, so I'm kind of taking you through like beginning to end almost in a way here with this,
mhm.
right? So we start off with like let's manage our time better, right? And then let's set goals so that we're specific on what we want to create. And then I decided let's move into email marketing because that's an area that a lot of people need help in.
Yeah.
Let me help them with being able to write emails. And then, you know what? Here's another way, something else that you can try to get people on your email list, and that's creating quizzes. So I have the next course down here is how to create an engaging quiz to build your email list. And this is kind of fun because quizzes are they're a fun tool to be able to get people to know about you and what it is that you do. Elizabeth and I,
I
we were just brainstorming yesterday about a cool quiz that you could create for people. Do you
Yeah, and
remember?
sorry.
Do you remember what
Oh,
we were talking about yesterday? Where we're like, oh my gosh, I know what quiz you should create. Like
yeah.
what is your like Spanish speaking level, or like what is your
Yeah.
Spanish reading level?
Yeah, so we were talking yesterday about like different levels that people might be at and different questions that I could ask that might help people determine what they or their child what level they're at. And then in when we did this course earlier, we made up another one that was like what Spanish speaking country should you visit. So it
Right,
was um, it's a fun course. It's one of my
right.
favorites. So
Yeah, and then
yeah.
yeah, so I remember we started thinking about like we brainstormed, so we came up with like all of the different like questions that you would ask and why you were
Hmm.
specifically asking them, and we really
Yeah.
like thought about it in a very in-depth manner so that when you would
Hmm.
go in to use the tool to create the course create the
Hmm.
quiz, you had that stuff already mapped out. You knew exactly what you were going to write and where. You weren't like inside of the quiz builder and not knowing
Right.
how to create it, right? You already had it
Yeah.
all mapped out.
Absolutely. Yeah, and also what I like in that course is that you didn't just go into you helped people figure out okay, what quiz do I want to create and what questions you went through with several different people
Mm-hmm.
um that process, but also you went through, okay, how practically can I use this to get more engagement with people? Like you went through two different strategies. Oh, sorry, I'm giving away all your I don't want to give away all
That's
your
all right.
secrets.
It's all good. It's all good. See, that's it. People are on this call, so they want to hear. It's all good.
um, you went through like two different strategies of either just getting engagement with people or how to get them on your email list through the quiz. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like two different complete strategies based
Right.
on what your goal is. So it was really exciting.
And then
So,
knowing that goal for the quiz, right, helps
mhm,
you then be able to move into the right platform. Yeah, the great question.
absolutely.
Somebody said, "Can you post a quiz without having a website?" You actually can. You just
Mhm,
the quiz is to get people on your email list, and you can have an email list without actually having a website.
right.
You would just need to have the ability to be able to create a landing page, which we do go over how to create a landing page in the how to get your first 100 email subscribers. So I do share with you how to do that even if you don't have a website. So that is one thing to take into consideration. All right. So once we now have another great strategy for being able to get people on there. I decided, you know what? Creating content is so huge today. I have so many tutors that are saying to me, "How do I get clients from all over the world?" And the easiest way to be able to get clients from all over the world is, drumroll please.
I'm terrible at drum
Me
roll.
too. Me too. I should have just like a little drum roll thingy that I could just like push a button and be like, and it would
Yes.
like do like the drum roll. That'd be so cool. That's my next purchase. So it's creating content. That is how you begin to get found by people from all over the world, whether it be through video creation, podcasting, blogging, or images. Those are like the
Mhm.
four most popular strategies for being able to get students. People get to know you over time. You create an audience, you get a list, people that you don't even know. When this happens, Suzanne Davis and I were talking about this a few months ago, and she's like, with an email list, I have people on my email list who've never bought anything, but they've referred people to me,
Absolutely.
right?
Because
She's like,
they know you.
right. She said that
Yeah.
she has people that, um, so like she does a lot of blogging. Her She got contacted by somebody from a university who said that her blog posts are recommended readings for kids and for students in her course.
That's so cool. Yeah, that
So
was so
she's getting in
exciting.
front of her ideal client, right? Like, how
Uh-huh.
much more of your ideal client could you get if a professor, because she's an academic writing
Right.
tutor, you guys, she's an academic
Mhm.
writing tutor, and the professors are recommending that they read her content that she now is getting in front of her ideal client, right? Like course after course
Yeah.
after course, even if it was just one person that was doing that. But she has
Right.
several of these professors using her blog posts as recommended reading, or not as recommended, but as
Required.
assignments, required reading. Thank you, that's the word, required reading. Required reading. I mean, what better way
That's
could you get in front of your ideal client? That is incredible.
that's just amazing. And it really shows the power of content marketing that I mean, I'm just starting to to learn that. We've been talking a lot about that lately,
Yeah,
but it's just it's so incredibly powerful.
for
Um,
sure.
it gets like we talk a lot about like the KLT, the know like trust.
Mm-hmm.
People get to know, like, and trust you through that,
Yes.
and it's so incredible because like people can see your Craigslist ad or your buy sell trade ad, and that's good for a while, but after a certain point, it gets really tough to have to get every single one of your clients that way. I mean, it works
Yeah.
for some people, But
You're constantly chasing to get clients versus your clients finding you in a way that feels like it's accidental.
right, right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so it feels like a lot more work when you have to go about it that way. But
Hmm.
what you're really doing is you're putting in work on a consistent basis. So those people that go through the Jumpstart program, you learn about the compound effect and how all of our actions compounded over time are what
Yeah.
make a huge difference in people getting to know us and like us and trust us. It also gives people the opportunity when they start researching you, it gives them things to find. And I got to tell you, the more things I
Right.
can find about a person, the more trusting I feel towards them. The less information I
Absolutely.
find about them, the less trusting. So Google yourself. That's like the best way to be able to find out how much information is out there about me. If you Google yourself and you find nothing, that's a scary place to be because people can't they can't then do the research to be able to learn more about you, and then they feel less confident in wanting to move forward with you compared to if they were to
Right.
find somebody with a ton of content, right? Like, let's pretend there are two writing tutors in the world. You've got Suzanne Davis and you've got Joe Schmo over here
Yeah.
who has no content. Joe Schmo and Suzanne
Right.
Davis, let's pretend they both show up on page one, but Suzanne Davis takes up page one 10 times and Joe Schmo's on there once. Who am I going to be more likely to move forward with? Suzanne, because
Suzanne.
she's got more content.
And it makes you seem like an expert because you're constantly showing up with information and helpful things, and people are like, "Oh, she knows what she's talking about." Like
Mm-hmm.
if I were to Google Suzanne, like I would see, "Oh my goodness, she knows what she's talking about when it comes to writing because she has like 50,000 blog posts." Not really,
Yeah,
but a lot of them.
but a lot of
Um,
them, right? And so then
so
that builds up her expertise as a writing tutor. And she's then
yeah.
able to now serve the people that she's always wanted to serve.
Hmm. Which is awesome.
The biggest problem that tutors have isn't that they're not good at tutoring, it's that nobody knows that they're out there.
Yep.
And so this strategy
So
allows
true.
the tutors to get out there.
So, so true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about this the other day. You you were doing the audit on my business, looking at my content and everything. And you looked for me, and I was on page one, which was exciting, but I was on there like, what was it, like two or three times? Actually, it was like once. So
Right.
it was like, okay, room to improve. So,
Yep. Yep. It's like, nope, I want you to
so
dominate. That's what I want for you
exactly.
guys. I want you to dominate. Okay, so take a look,
Yeah.
like Google me, you guys. Like just put in like Joanne Kaminsky, and I'm just curious. Like, what do you find when you see it? Do you see, yeah, do you see just like so much content out there, like your head is about to explode? That's what you want. That's what you want at the end of the
Mhm.
day. You want so much content out there that it feels like the person's head's gonna explode because there's so much content, so much
And
good
then,
content, right?
right. And then like in your tagline on this course, it says to get students worldwide. And then that's what I love about making content, because you can play with keywords to really find, like if you want to find students from Australia, for example, because the time zone works well for you, you can find keywords that people from Australia, I just made that up, are or I just picked a random country, are
Right.
searching for,
Right.
and
So if I'm
you
a math
can.
tutor, then I would want to not just put math tutor, but maths
Right.
tutor, right?
Right. Mhm.
Maths tuition. Because they don't say tutor,
Mhm.
they'll say tuition. So knowing the language
Right.
that they're using over in that country can help you with being able to get found in the way that you want to be able to get found.
Absolutely.
So in the Create Incredible Content course, that I did, I actually invited expert speakers to speak on each of the topics because I'm not an
Oh,
expert in
cool.
everything. So I invited my business coach that I had for a while, Michelle Schaefer, to talk about the blogging piece, and um, I talked about video
Suzanne.
creation.
Mhm.
and Matt talked about editing videos, and we had Suzanne on there talking about, I think, Pinterest at that time. And all that kind of stuff, like how do you create an image so that you can get found, right? And so she went through, how do I create those images? So it's not just me that you're learning from, but you're learning from a whole crew of people that have been utilizing strategies that it has been working for them for. And then we have one more piece, one more at the end of the day. Here's what I know that you guys want. Every single person, every single person tells me, Joanne, how can I get more students? But not one person has ever asked me, not one, how can I get those people to say yes to my tutoring?
Oh, yep. Yeah, this is
And
another revolutionary
yeah.
revolutionary process for me. It changed my life. Anyway, continue.
Because what if I have, let's pretend this, like, let's pretend that you have 100 conversations, they all take an hour. You invest 100 hours talking to people who found you because you've done all the right things and they found you, right? But only 10 of those say yes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. Are you going to keep doing it? You might at some point just give up and stop, because that's a lot of time that you're investing for free to chat with these people who aren't moving forward. And so then you might think inside of your head, oh, it must be because my services are priced too high. It must be because there's too much competition. It must be because, so we think of all of these outside reasons why people aren't moving forward with us. And we never get clear on the real reasons people aren't moving with us. And it all comes down to this. It comes down to being more curious about them and what they're struggling with than it is about you. A lot of people want to share their resume. I've taught here for so many years. I have this much experience. I've worked with this many students. Nobody cares about that. They care about, do you like working with kids like mine? Do you know how to help kids that struggle in the way that my kid does? Do you get results with your students? Those are the things that people care about. So I walk you guys through a process of, how can I get anyone to say yes to online tutoring? Starting with the initial conversation where they reach out to you, moving on into a free assessment or consultation, and then finally moving into that sales conversation. What do I do so that people are moving forward and saying yes? I have a 95% rate of people saying yes. So when I get 100 clients, I get 100 referrals, 95 of them are saying yes. That gives me the opportunity to make more money, way more money, than that person that had 100 and is only getting 10 saying yes.
Yeah.
Huge
A
difference, isn't it?
whole lot more. Yeah, and I mean, once you taught me this process that you teach in this course, I'm not kidding you guys when I say it completely changed how I run my business, like how I run my consultation calls, and I how I see results in my business. Like, I feel so much more confident when I talk to potential clients now, and they say yes so much more often. It's crazy. And it's yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that course because it's incredible. And yeah, just the way that you teach us to ask questions about them, keep the conversation moving and focus on them the whole time. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so
It
many of the other
absolutely is.
tips that you give.
I
So it's awesome.
remember we were on a call at one point,
Mm,
and you were afraid
you
about
love the
what you
story.
charge.
Yes, I was. And I was
And so
charging
the
less than I do now.
and I was like, "So how much do you charge?" And you were like, $50 an hour." Or something
And
like that, right? Like, I don't remember the
yeah,
number, like, off the top of my head.
yeah,
And I was like, oh,
yeah,
golly, no, I would never move forward with you. Like,
yep,
okay, like, because of the confidence level, like, if you can't tell
right.
me how much you charge, you don't have to
Yeah.
say anything after that. I charge $50 an hour. So, you ready to get started?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to keep, like, inside of your body, you may be like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. But you cannot, it's like you've got to fake it till you can make it, right? You got to just like say it
Absolutely.
as clearly and as confidently as you possibly can. I charge $50 an hour. Are you ready to get started next week?
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. And you guys, this wasn't even a real client. We were just chatting one on one. And I mean, I think there were other people on the call as well, but we were just chatting and I couldn't tell even Joanne how much I charge. And no wonder why I wasn't getting clients.
Mm-hmm.
So now my confidence is like night and day, and I can confidently say, I mean, I might be, like you said, freaking out inside a little bit, but I can confidently say how much I charge and know I'm worth that, which is another thing that you teach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so awesome. So anyway, I'll stop. But
Well, we had a question from
yeah.
Rima Dickens wanting to know if the reading program is also discounted. It is not discounted. So here is a list of all of the courses right now that are going to be discounted. There's 7 courses involved in this, and so each one is going to be 50% off only for one day. So you have to take a look at the day. That coupon code that you're going to get on that day inside of your email is only going to be good that day. Or you can get all of them at only $197. So you'll be able to get all of those courses at just $197, which is a $605 value. So you got the 21-day time management challenge, the goal-setting bootcamp, the get your first 100 email subscribers, persuasive emails that get people hiring you, how to create an engaging quiz to build your email list, creating credible content, and how to get anyone to say yes to online tutoring. When I get back from vacation, oh, the other question I got was, have you lowered your prices because of COVID? No, I have not lowered my prices because of COVID. I've lowered my prices for one day just to do something special for the 4th of July. And just to, I'm going to be on vacation. And I thought, hey, you know what? Here is a cool way that I can serve people while I'm on vacation. So many people, they're like, oh my gosh, I need all of this information now so that I can really get my online tutoring business started. And, the Jumpstart program right now is closed. I can't get in. Are there other things that I could join that would be just as helpful? And I would say, hey, if you were to go through all of these courses, that would be really helpful for you right now. And then maybe you decide, I want to join Jumpstart when they open again in late August. Then you can do that. So this is more about the tutoring side of the business, not the teaching side of the business, which is why I don't have like the reading interventionist or anything. I've actually never offered the reading interventionist at a special deal. I don't think it stays at the price that it's at. Um,
Hmm.
but I will be opening that course up the week after I get back. So people
Oh,
will have the
neat.
opportunity
That's
to
exciting.
join that course and be able to walk through the process. It won't be at a 50% discount though, just so that you guys know or don't expect or say, hey, you said it was gonna be 50% off. No, no. It's like my flagship course, right?
Yeah.
it's
You
what
put,
I'm known
I
for.
mean, sorry?
It's what I'm known
Oh,
for. Like I
you're
put these
right.
pieces,
Oh my goodness.
these
Yeah.
this you're learning all of my secrets to being able to close the gap a full year with 8 to 12 hours of instruction. Um, you are going to learn everything that actually works versus all of the things that people don't when it comes to that specific program. So
Like getting a reading master, like it's substitute for a reading master's in like eight weeks. So
yeah.
it's a lot, but it's awesome. So
Great question.
um
Yes. If you purchase all of the courses, do you get access at any time? Yes. If you pre purchase all 7, will you get immediate access? Yes, you get access today. You can start working
yeah.
on the course, the content today. So I wasn't going to open the doors until Saturday, and I decided, nope, you know what? We're doing this call today. I'm going to open the doors early for people. So Elizabeth is going to put that link on there again, so that
Yep.
you can get a chance to see that. Um, for
And
my
Terry
students,
Griggs. Oh.
somebody asked the question, for my students, have
Mhm.
I lowered prices because of COVID? I have not. I'm actually booked solid and having more people request my services than ever. So I've not reduced my prices, because why would I reduce my prices if I can have people who will pay full price? I
Mhm.
did make an exception in the very beginning for 4 little boys. that were struggling with reading, weren't getting enough time. I was already working with them, and I made the decision to not increase the price they were already paying and put them all into a group and increase their time so that
Yeah.
the 2 hours I would normally spend teaching them individually for 30 minutes, they all could have 2 hours of instruction each week. So that is one of the things that I did um, do a little bit differently because of COVID, but that was like back in March that I did that. I'm not taking on any new students at a reduced rate because of COVID, because my ideal client didn't lose their job. My ideal client has one of those jobs that they can take home. It might be different for you. Your ideal client may be different. Maybe your ideal client is the person who is, lower income. But the higher income jobs, which people can use to afford tutoring, those are the people that are still purchasing tutoring. And that hasn't stopped. Unless, of course, they're taking the SAT or the UCT. Sorry, guys. Like that
Yeah.
got canceled. So that's a big area that's being affected right now for tutoring. So hopefully we're able to answer some of the questions that you guys have, and you decide to come on board and join the learning. Some
Hmm.
great tools and resources, and you've been through just about all of them, Elizabeth.
Almost, in one form or another, or I'm about to go through them, as in the 21 day time management challenge.
Yeah.
So I hope by the end of the summer or so I'll be through just about all of them. So that's
Mm-hmm.
exciting.
Awesome,
Um,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
and so if you guys do have questions next week, you know who you can ask because she's been through all of them. You can ask Elizabeth. She's been through the
Yep.
program. She knows them. She's personally
I'll be around.
partaken. Yep, she'll be around. She's not going on vacation with me. Maybe in the future we should do that. We should go on vacation together.
That would be so much fun.
We
Um,
would have a blast.
so Elizabeth has a question. So today you can purchase however many courses you want for for half off, or only all the courses for 197.
Only all the courses for the 197. Otherwise, you have to wait until the specific day to be able to get the 50% off on the one course that you might want. So if it's a pick and
Good
choose,
question.
like
Yeah.
put that time on your calendar so that you know, like, okay, I know that Joanne's going to be offering this on Tuesday. I want to make sure that I pay attention to the email that she sends me on Tuesday, because then I know that I'll be able to purchase that course, because that's where the coupon code will be. It will be in your email.
And I'll be sending out reminders in the support group as well. But yeah, so that'll be good.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks you guys for joining us today. It was great being able to hang out with you, and thank you, Elizabeth, for
Yeah.
helping talk about it. Because it would have been really boring if I just talked about it by myself here. It's not as much
Aw.
fun.
Yeah, I'm always happy to join you. It's always fun. We always have fun on YouTube, I feel like.
We do, we do. So,
Live streams.
and we just want to say thank you for Lynn Wilson, Elizabeth Comparoro, Terry Grigsby, Rima,
Ashley,
Ashley. Thanks you guys for
Anna,
joining us. Yep, Anna. Um,
Robert.
mm-hmm. Thanks for joining us, you guys. We appreciate seeing you,
Yeah.
and enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, and
Bye,
Maggie.
everyone.
Yep. Bye.